Mind you, that also distracted me, and that's also why I dropped the tripod on my foot.
We were going Black Friday shopping, and she spent most of my car ride talking about this other dude at my job.
Needless to say, I kind of friend-zoned Julian in the moment.
Welcome to the Alyssa and Julian Podcast.
I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Julian, and this is the Alyssa and Julian Podcast. Bro, I'm on fire right now. I feel amazing.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, it's okay. Go ahead. Tell me how you feel.
No, I was going to say I feel like I could use an app.
I mean, me too, but like, I feel amazing because I feel like this podcast is going to look really good because I learned that cameras have firmware that need to be updated. And when you update them, they look so much better.
See, it's funny that he says that because he's always on me about updating my phone because I literally never, ever update my phone. So the fact that he's on that about his camera is kind of...
you know, it's kind of a dumb thing that I didn't know that. But like, if you think about it, though, phones and like the iPad I bought all come in on like the highest possible like firmware setting, you know, so you don't normally need to update them. This camera was still on its factory like release day firmware, and I'm using it now and I'm like, yo, like the eye tracking autofocus is so much better. Like, what else? I forget what else they said, but it looks a lot better to me personally.
Interesting.
A lot of nerdy ways to say, hey, it's improved.
If you're watching this episode, I feel like I look really weird. I'm kind of looking at like both cameras. Hi. I feel like I look really weird because if I like kind of like sit up and like this, my bun gets cut off, but like I have to keep the bun in it. The bun's iconic. So I'm slouching a little bit. I'm also kind of hiding my Christmas pants I'm wearing. So
Yeah, bro. What is happening here?
we are going to go into the intentions of the week. It's funny because I'm looking at my notebook and my intentions for the week line is blank. So that's sums me up pretty well. But I actually have one. I just thought of one. Ready?
Ready.
So today, before we did this podcast, first of all, we're mentioning that usually we record this when our son is sleeping. Fun fact, he is not sleeping right now, but he is hanging out in our room in the pack and play watching Miss Rachel. So hopefully he falls asleep, but he's entertained, so he's quiet. But before this episode, oh my God, I feel like I've done so much laundry. I've literally folded 2 of my baskets, the basket of towels and a basket of our son's clothes. And I put a new load in the laundry. I put a new load in the wash. I have a load in the dryer. I feel like I'm finally getting like caught up on laundry, which is always a fun time. I've put so much away. I did dishes. Oh my God, I feel like whatever. So my intention is going to be to like keep up with all this stuff. So I don't feel like I have a day where like I just have like a never ending like load of things to do, especially laundry. I hate having a day where I have to like do like 6 loads of laundry and try to get it done because I feel like laundry takes so long to do. Like just waiting for it so I could like put another load in just feels like it takes even more time, where if I just have like a load I could just throw in, I'll be like, oh, and I feel like it's going to be done in no time. But we cleaned up the apartment. Can I
Go for it.
Okay, so Julian's going to be dropping an apartment tour video.
It's actually out already.
Okay,
actually,
see?
Well,
so it's not spoiling.
Here's the problem. It's supposed to be out right now, but that's part of like my struggle today has been really just trying to figure out how to get it to render because it will not render right now. Because I downloaded, I didn't download, but I got a trial to this program. Like it's a site where they have like graphics and stuff. So it's called Envato Elements. I got a membership to that, 7-day free trial just to help improve my videos, give me some visual assets that make the video look better. But this thing will not render. So I either have to get rid of it or find something else to use maybe. I don't know, but I really like it and I like the way it came out, so I want to keep it. But that's been my struggle today. That's what I've been focused on. But yes, to say, hopefully by the time you're watching this podcast, I have an apartment tour video that has been uploaded on my channel.
Up for that. So I've kind of been keeping up with the kitchen. Like I try to not make it look like I have dishes everywhere and like bottles everywhere. So it looks good for now. So my intention is gonna be to keep up with all of this. So that way on my days off, like today, I'm not like, oh my God, I have all this laundry to do. I have all these dishes to do, which is how I felt this morning. So hopefully on my days off, I can like do stuff like this and then like chill, go with the vibe. We could go out, take a drive, and I don't have to be like, no, I have to stay home because I have to keep all this stuff clean and I have to do all this stuff. Yeah. Yeah. That sound just sums up what I've done this morning, in case you're wondering. Okay, your turn.
Oh, my turn.
I just like ranted mine for like 20 minutes, so you had time to think of yours.
No, I already know what mine is. I was talking about it yesterday when I was doing my mental health stream. I want to get into a morning routine. It's so hard with a baby, though. So hard.
You can make it.
I could probably make it easy, but here's my morning routine.
You have to make it happen.
Exactly. Yes, no, you're right. But here's what I want to do. 5 minutes in the gratitude journal every morning. I've fallen off of that, but
I like how you like it's called a 5-minute journal and you changed it from 10 to 5 minutes.
Yeah, I realized like, wait, no, that's not right. So 5 minutes in the gratitude journal, 10 minutes reading a book, and another 10 playing the piano. That is I want my morning routine to look like. Obviously, after brushing my teeth and all that, like showering. But I feel like to do those 3 things every morning.
You could do that either with or without him. Like he could be chilling with you in like the pack and play like he is now, and you're just doing all that stuff. Or he could be like napping, and you could do all that.
Yeah, I mean, I think my problem is I just get so into like once he's napping, like, oh, gotta start my day. This is my time to get all my editing done, that I just jump right into my work day normally.
Makes sense.
And I don't do anything for me in the morning. So I want to take back my mornings.
Folks.
I need to take back my life, take back my mornings, and get these things done.
We love that.
And then once I get a morning routine down, I want a night routine. And once I get my morning and night routine down, I want to work in a gym schedule. That's my plan. That's how it's going to go.
God.
But you need 20 days of the morning routine, 20 days of the night routine, and then you can work in all that other stuff in between.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, streaming platforms. Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music.
Google Podcast.
I was going to say that's your cue, but...
I was like, oh, she's waiting for me. Google Podcast, y'all. Google Podcast. That's
anywhere you stream your platforms.
Bro, it is so hot in here right now because somebody decided that they were going to run the dishwasher. I said,
I've done like 2 batches of laundry so far. Like I've started the dryer like 6 times. And I have the dishwasher going because like I said, I did dishes.
No regard for our electric bill whatsoever. It
is really hot in here.
No regard for our electric bill or our well-being, mind you. So like I'm just sitting here like, holy cow,
now we have
hot.
like this light shining on us for the bottom.
Right, literally I have like no energy either now, so I'm just sitting here like, oh yeah, Google Podcasts. Google Podcast, that's the one.
I think you forgot it last week too, but we'll use the heat as the excuse this week.
I didn't forget. I never forget Google.
I'm the one who cares about y'all. You forgot it last time.
I care about y'all. I don't think there's a single person who watches us on Google Podcast.
If you do,
but
let us know.
I care about you, man. I really do.
Before we get into the topic, I'm going to tell a quick story. We were setting up this podcast and I took out one of the tripods and I thought I put it on the bed, but apparently I didn't really put it on the bed because it rolled off literally onto my foot. So my foot has like a cut, a bump, a bruise, a red mark. It hurts so bad right now. But anyways.
I thought I'd have to carry her in here to sit.
Yeah, I literally like
she was
couldn't move it at first. It hurt so bad. And then he was touching it and I was like, ah. Yeah. It hurts so bad.
Poking at it.
Yeah, literally just poking at it as if it didn't just happen. So it's like fresh and sensitive.
You have to feel around it.
It's sensitive.
Yes, but you have to feel around it to determine what's wrong with it.
Okay. It hurts.
To determine the damage. Yeah, but you got to determine the damage. Anyway.
So we have a interesting episode for you guys today. So I realized I like to look at like a planner. I literally plan out like when we record, when I'm going to edit, make the thumbnail, upload, schedule, like it's all in there. So I looked at my planner when planning this episode, and we were recording it today like we normally would. It's a Thursday. Today is February 9th when we're recording this. But when you're hearing this, it is February 13th. So the day before Valentine's Day. So I thought we could do an episode on like awkward first date or first date stories. And needless to say, this is going to be another Julian episode, because before this, he was literally standing there and was like, oh, I don't know what stories I should tell, what stories I shouldn't tell. I have a lot of first date stories. Mind you, that also distracted me, and that's also why I dropped the tripod on my foot. But that's besides the point.
Also, can we just say...
I still dropped a tripod on my foot.
Can we just say a lot of first and only date stories?
Which I feel like makes it even better. That's either going to be more awkward or more funny.
It was more tragic for me at the time, but you know, it is what it is.
I might go first because I have like 2, and it sounds like Julian has a lot. So unless you want to go first.
No, you got this.
Are you sure?
Yes, because you have 2 and I have like 11.
One of my first date stories actually involves Julian, and so he probably should have saw this coming.
Oh, I did. I was waiting for you to talk about it.
So first date stories. Actually, it is like a full circle because it was also on Valentine's Day.
It sure was.
How long? Like 3 years ago? 4 years
2019.
ago? 2022. 4 years ago.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Okay, so Julian and I had gone on a date bowling. This was before we had started dating. So
I showed up with flowers and everything.
Literally everything. He made it seem like it was going to be like nonchalant, and then he kind of had them in his car, so it was like a surprise. So it was actually really cute. But we had gone bowling on Valentine's Day, and you know, we're sitting there, we're bowling. I'm winning. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, you're not kidding. You're not kidding.
We're having a great time. It was pre-COVID. So you were still like, you know, when you go on a bowling lane, like they have like where you share like a sitting area almost with the people in the lane next to you. Like it's 2 lanes, like you have your own lane, but like where you sit, there's other people with you. So you share like the screen and everything, like that little screen you like monitor the big screen on. So these 2 guys were friends, and you know.
Can I just talk about them for a second? They were so lit, bro. Like they reminded me so much of my boys. Like they didn't have Valentine's.
They were definitely like BFFs, but I don't know where they were from.
They didn't have Valentine's, so they're like, yo, let's just go bowling. So they were dope. They were hanging out. They were so chill.
Honestly, I feel like they were also the type of guys that like were like, oh, it's Valentine's Day.
Yeah, right. It's just like, yo, let's go bowling. Yeah, right. So like they were just chilling, bro. It was lit. It was a vibe actually. I kind of hung out with them a little bit more than I probably should have. But it's okay.
So it makes my story not so bad. I'm just kidding. We were talking to them for a little bit. Like they were cool. I forget, they mentioned like where I said I don't know where they're from. I meant like they mentioned what school they went to, and it was in like a surrounding area. I just forget where they went. Not that I'm gonna probably expose anyways, but we were talking to them, we were hanging out. It was kind of a good time. I feel like they get like food or drinks or something, and they were like, yeah, you guys could have some. Like
no, definitely.
It was a cool night. So I don't know where you were actually. I don't think I was standing there by myself, but I don't remember you being next to me.
I was there because I heard you.
What?
I was there because I heard you and I said something afterwards.
Really? No, because I feel like I told you they said that. I don't remember. So they were like, oh yeah, like, oh, how long have you guys been dating for? And needless to say, I kind of friend zoned Julian in the moment and said that we were just friends. And we weren't dating, but like,
we definitely weren't just friends.
I feel like it was like the like in between of like we weren't really just friends, but we weren't dating. You know, it was like that thing like period. Yeah, I told them we were just friends, and they were like, oh, okay. Like it was so weird and uncomfortable, and I was like, Okay.
So needless to say, I still remind her of this moment because, mind you, I'm pretty sure I paid for bowling. Like, I paid for the flowers and I'm pretty sure I paid for bowling.
I'm pretty sure you did too.
That's crazy. I took this girl out for Valentine's Day.
Mind you, this was like less than 3 months until we actually started dating.
No, yeah.
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 Because that was like mid-February and we started dating early May.
I always took care of Alyssa, though. Always.
My friend zoned him.
Yeah. I always took care of Alyssa.
I mean, to this day, I still like, I'm sorry. Like, I still apologize. But if you think about it, it's kind of funny. But not funny at the same time. Okay, awkward.
Literally, this is the type of friend I was. Like, me and Alyssa were just friends. And she was like, I've never been to Boston. I was like, all right, bet, let's go.
Literally,
I booked the trip and everything.
30 minutes later, we had
a full trip booked.
A trip booked, like a place we were staying, what we were doing, like a whole itinerary.
Mm-hmm. Fancy restaurant for dinner. Like,
oh my God, it was crazy. And I was like, wait, what? Like, I literally was so confused in the moment because I was like, dude, no way you literally just booked that whole thing.
And again, I paid for dinner. Get at me. She almost had to drive me back to the hotel, though, but that's a whole different thing.
This fruity drink. He had like this girly fruity drink. It probably would have got me too if I drank it, but I didn't.
Bro, that restaurant though was like expensive.
I don't even think it's like open anymore.
It's not.
I think they shut it down.
It's the top of the hub restaurant.
But I think they shut down.
It was in the Prudential Center in Boston. Top of the hub. It was the top floor. We ate there.
Eyelash.
What the heck? In the middle of my story?
Sorry.
That's crazy, bro. This wasn't our first date, but like, this was like when we decided we were like, all right, yeah, we're dating, bro. I just spent $100 on this girl.
It was funny because that was actually the day we started dating.
Yeah. So I spent $100 on this girl for dinner. I got drunk by accident.
By accident. That's a key statement.
Yeah, like
we had to walk around the mall just so he could like wear off.
Bro, this dude, like, it was to the point, like, it was one of those fancy restaurants. We had to dress up. This dude came. With,
yeah,
like,
there was a dress code for the restaurant.
This dude had, like, a little thing over his arm, like, hello, how may I seat you, sir, ma'am? Walked us over to our seat, made my drink literally at the table, like, shook it up and everything, poured it in my little martini glass. Mm-hmm. It was lit. Had the little orange floating around it. I was like, hey, yo, let's get it. That drink was bomb, by the way. Bomb.
I would say let's go back, but
yeah, I know. I would go back. I would go back.
Anyways, yeah. But needless to say, so.
Oh wait, but hold on. Then after that, though, we went down to the observatory below it.
That was like 2 floors down.
I don't know if that's still open. That should still be open, bro.
That should still be open. I loved it.
That was sick.
So needless to say, after that, like I've literally fallen in love with Boston, and now Julian.
I thought you were gonna say with Julian. I was like, oh. She goes with Boston, bro. Yo, don't. I did all that. Nah, in love with Boston, bro.
I mean, you too, because like Boston, I said,
Boston
that was
did it, bro.
The day we started dating. But I literally love Boston now, and then Julian gets mad every time I want to go to Boston over New York. But I would say it's his fault because he brought me there. He showed me what I was missing in my life.
Well, we're going to New York in a week anyway. Actually, the weekend that you're watching this, the weekend after Valentine's Day, we're going to be in New York at the K&J meetup. So literally, if you're listening to this,
if you saw this, this camera, I literally just did the math on my fingers to see how long it'd be because I don't math well in my head. 5 days.
It's going to be Saturday the 18th.
5 days after you're hearing this, seeing it, if you're watching it the day it's uploaded and posted, we will be in New York. And I'm
meeting
so excited.
K&J.
So excited.
I'm so excited for it, man. I'm going to have a fire video out of this. Like, I'm already telling you, this is going to be an awesome, awesome trip. Okay, sorry. I'm getting so off topic, but Boston is fun.
So that was one of my stories, and I feel like I had to lead with that one because he's right here. Anyways, so my second one was, okay, so one of my friends, like, she was literally one of my best friends in high school, went to a different school her junior year, I believe. She went to like a whole nother school, and I had gone with her to like some of like the dances, like sports things, like, I don't know, random things. So like I started to meet some of the people like she was friends with in this new school. And I feel like she tried to like hook me up with one of these dudes who I kind of talked to you, but like I wasn't really like feeling it. Like it was one of those like, like you were just kind of like talking, but like I don't know, it wasn't really the vibe. But he had asked me on a movie date, like to go to the movies. Which also, if you know me, like I don't like
movie dates are the worst.
I don't like going to the movies. Like I don't know what it is. I don't. Even Julian tries to get me to go to the movies, and I'm like,
going to the movies is awesome. I go by myself now because she gives me such a hard time.
Yeah. Really don't like it. I don't know. It's not a vibe.
Going to the movies is awesome, but not on a date, guys.
It's so weird.
Yo, can we talk about that at some point before we get out of here? I just want to give you guys because from someone who's failed at a lot of first dates, I would love to give you a bunch of first date destinations that are actually good.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
Rather than going on some that suck.
Fun stories. We'll talk about.
Yes.
He could probably tell you better where to not go and where to go.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, so I'm going on this, date to the movies. So I had told my friend about it and I was like, yeah, like he asked to go to the movies, blah, blah, blah. Which it was weird because like I didn't tell my parents about it. So I had my friend bring me, like drive me. And I was like, yeah, I'm just going to hang out with her, like type of thing. No, so she drove me to the movies. And it got like really weird because I made her stay. I made her third wheel at the movies on this date with this dude. I honestly like didn't really know, but like he was kind of cool. I don't know. It was so weird.
I would have left on the spot.
So
bro. I'd be like, here, you got my ticket, bro.
Yeah, good times. So moral of that story was my friend took me up and I wasn't really feeling it at the same time, so I made her stay during the date.
No. The real moral of the story is don't lead a guy on. If you're not feeling it, just say nah.
That too. Julian's got to call me out.
Just say nah.
So those are my two awkward first date stories. Well, Julian's really wasn't awkward, but it was a first date.
It was a first date.
Yeah, I feel like it was one of actually our first like official like dates.
Yeah, because we.
I feel like a lot of other times we hung out with like other people.
Yeah.
So like it wasn't really like date wise, but.
I'm trying to think, where should I even start?
Oh God, I love this. I'm so intrigued.
All right, I'll tell the most interesting one first. I told this story on YouTube before on my old channel, but it's always one that scars me for life because this is another Valentine's story. I decided one year for Valentine's Day, this was like 2015. I was like, you know what? I'm a big boy now. I got a car.
Big boy now.
I'm going to take a girl out for Valentine's Day. And I did. I took a girl out for Valentine's Day, but the problem was the weather was not trying to hear it, bro. If you don't know Connecticut, it snows heavy in February a lot of times. So here we go, February 14th. Now we have this date all lined up. This girl, again, is going to go bowling with me, which is...
Wait, he has a trend.
Yeah. So she's going to go bowling with me. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, yeah, we'll meet up. We'll go bowling because we worked at the same place. So we got in the car. We're going there. Next thing you know, my car starts sliding. Literally right next to where I live now. Like where I live now, I can look at where my car started sliding at. I slid into another car. There was no damage, but I slid into this other car. It was an accident middle of my date. Like while I was supposed to be driving on my date. There was no damage. The lady was like, oh yeah, you're fine. Don't even worry about it. Like it happens. So thankfully we were good. The worst part about this story at the time, I didn't really tell this because, I was a little kid and I didn't know, but listen, my family was broke. All right. So they did some not so great things sometimes. Okay. My car did not have any insurance on it at the time. So like when I crashed, I had no car insurance. Like my car insurance had lapsed.
Oh my God.
Like, because I was on like one of my family members' car insurances and they didn't pay the bill. So like it had lapsed and they had told me, yo, I ain't paid a bill. Be careful. I ain't listen. I was out there. I was like,
be careful. Julian goes out on the worst snow day ever.
Yo.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Yeah,
I'll be careful.
I got this. Yeah. Because I was young and naive. I was like, man, I know my car. My car is fine in this. It's not snowing too bad. It's just a little coating on the ground. Nope. So then we were okay. She was okay. I made sure she was good. She was good. And then we got to the bowling alley and we had fun and stuff. It was cool. But tell me why the next day at work, after all this, she goes around telling everybody about me sliding and crashing.
Not about the date.
Nope. She talks about crashing.
They were like, yo, I went in the car with Julian. He crashed.
Yeah.
Don't get in the car with him.
You know what's crazy?
Where was I? Because I clearly did not get that memo.
You didn't start working there yet. So the crazy part is that's not even the worst story I have. I have some crazier ones. I have some crazier ones.
Episode. All right.
I
should have brought popcorn to this.
I went out on a date with this other girl, and for this one, where were we going? I'm trying to think where we were even going, bro. I think we just went to the mall. Oh, yes, we were going Black Friday shopping. And she spent most of my car ride talking about this other dude at my job. And then she went back after the date and told the dude that I was talking about him the whole time.
That you were talking about him?
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, she was the one talking about?
Yeah. Yeah. So like all these dudes are at work clowning me like, yo, they were like, yo, why would you sit here and talk about this dude your whole day? I'm like, bro, I wasn't. Like, what are y'all on, bro? I wasn't saying nothing like that.
And that's the tea.
And then they were like, you supposed to be like, oh, talk about something else, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, listen, man, like, listen, if this is what she want to talk about, like, I'm not rude. I'm not going to cut her off. You know what I mean? And be like, oh, don't say that in my car. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like that. So I just was letting her rock, bro. And come to find out, they ended up getting together anyway. A little bit afterwards.
That is actual tea?
That is actual tea. I'm telling you, I've had some bad ones, bro. I had another one where I went, this girl, apparently she really wanted me to go to prom with her. I was 20 or 19. I was either 19 or 20, but I was right there at the limit, hey, I can't go. But like, I was able to go. I was like, dude, I just don't want to be, I feel like a chaperone. I really don't want to go.
Yeah. So like I don't know how every school works, but a lot of schools cut you off if you've like graduated like X amount of years ago, but at the same time, they also are definitely like, nope, if you're over the age of 21, because of the fact that you're obviously of age and you can bring alcohol, and everyone at prom is a minor at that point. Yeah. So they definitely will not let you in if you're under the age of 21 and
over the age of 21.
Or that's what I meant. Over the age of 21. But I don't know how schools work. My school got really strict around prom. You had to go to school the whole day of prom or they wouldn't let you go. If you left early, you couldn't go. So a lot of people were trying to leave early to go get hair done, nails done, like all this stuff. No, you had to go through the whole day of school, the day of prom, to go to prom. And at prom, they wanted to do breathalyzer tests to make sure when you came to prom, you weren't like...
We had breathalyzers at my prom.
You weren't like drunk or you weren't like over the legal limit type of thing because, like I said, you are underage.
My
school... How many people got in trouble?
My school made the news for yelling at girls about their dresses being open in the back. And they couldn't show too much skin on their dresses. Yeah, my school got yelled at or got national news for stuff like that.
We never had a problem with dresses, but it was letting people in, because you had to also you had to get the other person's information for who you were bringing if they weren't in our school. Yeah. So obviously, like, you have to get like all types of stuff. So like when they see their age, they're like, no, they're not coming. You can't have them as a date type of thing.
Well, yeah, I mean,
and
basically
then breathalyzer tests and then like all that stuff. They were crazy. They were like checking pockets. They were doing like pat downs, make sure you weren't bringing anything in, like all that type of stuff. It was crazy.
My thing is though, I had already gone to 3 proms, so I really just didn't want to spend money on another prom. That was more so my thing. There are. That's why I was like, dude, like I have to go through the process of getting a tux again and doing all this stuff. I really just didn't want to go through all that again. And like I never got like, hey, I really want you to go. You know what I mean? Everyone else was telling me that, yo, she kept saying she wishes you were there. She wanted you to go. And I never got the like saying like, hey, I really want you to go with me. But like they also were like, hey, she heard you didn't want to go, so she didn't want to ask you just to be rejected, basically, type of thing. And I was like, dude, like I would never, like, if she really asked me to go and wanted me to go, like I would never just be like, nah, I'm not going. You know what I mean?
Like rejecting a prom proposal.
Yeah, like I'm not that kind of person. I would never do that. But like that's just kind of how they saw it. That's what they thought at the time. But anyway, so that didn't end up being our first date, but that was honestly what she wanted. But afterwards we went on a date to the mall and we were like walking around the mall talking, which went okay. You know, it was fine. But at the end of the day, I met one of my friends that I graduated high school with. And I saw him there. I was like, oh, hey, what's up, bro? He like worked there. So he saw me walking out and was like, yo.
Wait, worked where?
He worked at the mall.
At the mall? Okay.
Yeah. So he saw me walking out. He's like, yo. I was like, what's up, man? And he was like, oh, what's going on? I was like, I was hanging out with somebody here. And then as I'm walking to my car, a bird pooped down my arm. Yeah. Yeah.
I love how that just sounds like it has no correlation within each other, but it sounds so funny.
Yeah, well, and then that just should have been clue for how that relationship was going to go, because it never became one, because she ended up messing with somebody else and like completely like ghosted me. Or actually, no, I was really forward with it. I got to the point where I felt like we were just talking and texting back and forth. It wasn't going anywhere. So I was like, honestly, like, I just want you to tell me, like, am I wasting my time? And she was like, yeah, I think we're better off just as friends. And like, it was one of those cases where like, we were better off as friends, but like, after that, we never talked again anyway. So it was like, bro, like, you don't have to lie to me. Like, if you just don't want to talk, like, just don't talk to me. Like, it's cool.
We're better off as friends.
Yo, I'm telling you, bro. Yeah.
Wow, that's some good friendship.
Right. And it's just like, it was just like a nice way to say, hey, I'm not interested. You know what I mean? Like, where you could just literally be like, yeah, no, I'm not interested. You know what I mean?
Yikes.
That's just, yeah. I don't even know, man. I got so many. So I have another one. Now here's the movie story. So this one,
I'm ready.
This one I thought went amazing. So first of all, I was messaging her. I was talking to her. Then we started texting. And then after we started texting, we were like, all right, let's go hang out on Halloween. So Halloween came and the place that we were going to go to had closed. She was like, I don't know what happened. This place closed. And I was like, oh yeah, okay. You know, it was cool. Like, we were like, all right, we'll just do something another time. So we ended up going to see a movie. We saw Geostorm, which was actually a really good movie, by the way. That movie was fire. So we went to see that. But the problem with going to see a movie is you just sit there. There's no talking. There's no like, cause you're so new. You don't want to like, you know, make a move like putting your arm around a girl. You ain't really, I mean,
classic.
You could, but like, I'm not that kind of guy. Like, I'd rather like talk to you first, get to know you first, like make sure like you're cool with that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to just push myself on anybody. So I didn't do any of that. But, you know, we're sitting there, we're just chilling. And after that, it's time to go home. You give them a hug and you leave. Like, I mean, I guess I could have went to dinner or something first, but I just went to the movies. And then, you know, that ended up turning out where it was just like, oh yeah, we're better off as friends. Now that one, we actually were really good friends afterwards, but like, there was no like room to get to know each other in that other sense, because it was just the time we spent was at a movie.
I thought you can't like talk.
Yeah.
So.
yeah. So this movie's great, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like
those background people that are like, shh.
Right. And I'm the type of guy, I get annoyed with talking during movies. So I don't talk during the movie. Like, I'm very like interested in the movie. So like when people pull their phones out and stuff, like I'm like, dude, like I'm gonna throw something at you. Like, I'm gonna throw this popcorn at your head. Wondering,
if you end up at the same movie with Julian,
if you feel a popcorn pegged in your head, like it was me. I'm like, yo, put that phone away, bro.
It was me.
Yeah, for real. So like that one, you know, that one wasn't a terrible first date story, but I just wouldn't do that as an option. You know what I mean? Then I don't know. I feel like a lot of times I spent a lot of time just being in the friend zone because, and just in general though, like,
oops, no, I'm just kidding.
I spent a lot of time in the friend zone because of a lack of confidence in myself to like put myself somewhere else. Because a lot of times it's like, I feel like as guys, like there's some guys that are like, yeah, I'm going after this girl. But then there are others who like are more like, yeah, if she likes me, like, yeah, I'll do it. But like, you can't be like that, man. Like, if you want something, like, just say, hey, this is what I want. This is who I am. Like, forget all that other stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Damn.
Yeah, I had a lot. I think I still have more that I'm missing out on, but I can't think of them right now.
Honestly, I didn't really go on a lot of dates with people. Like, I've never had like I went on a date.
Well, but I think my problem
literally
is
trying to think of like other stories I could tell, and I'm like, I'm boring. I don't really have any.
well, my problem is I went out to eat with a lot of females that I was just friends with.
Oh, so it wasn't like a date, but like.
Yeah, but like I wanted it to be, but I didn't know how to like make it that.
Oh, gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of times because that's even the case. Like you could look at our first date story. Like I never verbally said it was a date, but it kind of was.
It basically was. We both basically call it a date now. In the moment, I didn't realize it was like a date.
Yeah. And even though we probably both wanted it to be, we never really like discussed
and, like,
it being one, you know?
Yeah, which is also kind of why I friend zoned him. I didn't really know it was a date.
So,
Awkward.
guys, I say all that to say, like, don't be afraid. Like, if they don't like you, then guess what? You tried. You did your thing, man. You know? That's why, like, it's so bad because, like, I don't know, like, see, I'm about to get controversial. Y'all ignore me for 2 seconds if you don't agree. Like, it's fine. But I see all those things on TikTok where, like, you know, the girls are, like, calling out these guys for, like, you know, approaching them and making a move. It's just, like, you can't be mad at him. Like, he's not being a creep. You know, he's not.
Right. Some people are so, like, nonchalant and do, like, the slightest thing, and they're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I watched some of those and I'm like, dude, really? Like at that point, like you're just over your head at that.
Yeah, you're too into yourself. Like, and there's this guy who got applauded for calling out those women on TikTok. Like he literally.
Isn't there like a guy that has like a YouTube channel?
I don't know. I think his name's Joe Swole. Or something like that. But like he got like an article written about him because he calls out these women on TikTok for doing that to these men. It's just like dude.
I think I've seen one of those videos though.
Yeah, it's like, dude, like homie was just asking if he was being respectful and asking if you were using the machine and you're taking it to a whole other level.
At the gym.
Yeah,
I saw that video.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Especially where girls are like, oh my God. And the guy was like, yo, but like if he jumped on the machine and didn't ask you, like it would have been a whole other thing.
Yeah,
like,
there's no other option.
Was not trying
But
to do anything.
I feel like I'm one of those people like if you respectfully shoot your shot, she says no and you walk away, like there's no harm done. No harm done.
No harm, no foul.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's like, unless you're doing something disrespectful, like if you see she's clearly with her man, clearly with her husband, and you're taking a shot like right in front of him, you know what I mean? Like she clearly has a wedding ring on, like things like that. That's different. But like,
that point, you're just dumb.
Yeah,
Sorry.
like if you're just with someone you're walking around, like, and you just shoot your shot, man, like.
No,
like, what's the problem, man? You know what I mean?
This, I haven't watched any of the videos. It just kind of comes up. There's this dude who has like, he stands, sometimes by like a car that looks like old or like not the greatest, where they're like, oh, eh, and tries to like talk to these women as they walk by, like trying to be like, oh, like what do you do? Like what's your name? Blah blah blah. And they're always like, yeah, like you're not my type. Like blah blah blah. So they start walking, and like when he goes to leave, he walks to like this new like Benz or like.
Oh, you're talking about the gold digger prank. Yeah, the gold digger prank.
Nate or something?
Nate used to do a lot of gold digger.
He has a YouTube channel.
Yeah,
so
Nate.
then they're like, oh, wait a minute. Like
Nate's been doing that for years,
that's
man.
Your car?
I used to,
wait, maybe we can talk.
I used to watch like, Nate, bro.
Oh. But it's funny because he sometimes like once he gets in the car, like and starts talking to the female, he starts calling him out, like being like, "Oh, like you're just a gold digger." Like,
yo,
you
nah.
only talk to me because I had a nice car.
Yo, they used to be so popular back in the day because like he used to go get the shovel. He used to go get the shovel and be like, "Now go dig."
They must be coming back because I've realized them. I've like noticed them recently.
That's more of a Facebook style video now. Like
but
you'll see that on
YouTube.
Oh, he's on YouTube with it
YouTube.
still? I haven't seen him in forever. I think he's married now.
I think he's coming back. I think he is too, but he has, I swear it's all over YouTube. They might be old videos just re-popping up, but I've been seeing them recently and I'm like, dang.
I used to watch him a lot in 2019. Really? Yes, I used to watch him a lot in 2019. When we first got together, I used to watch him a lot.
So funny because I'm like, oh, like part of me is like, that's embarrassing for like the girl sometimes, but at the same time, I'm like, hey, yo.
You deserve it. Yeah, you deserve it, bro, at that point, for real. Cause like, I mean, I get it. You don't want to be with a guy who's like a bum, but if like someone's working towards something, man, like let him rock, man.
Yeah,
let him be. Let him be. And it doesn't matter about the car you drive or anything like that. Cause guess what? You never know. That car could be a rental.
I mean, true. I think sometimes he's like, oh yeah, it's my buddy's car. Like at the end when he like says like, oh, I'm filming this, and there's the guy, like they point like across the way and it's like, oh, there's the dude with the camera, like da da da. because I think he had one episode where this dude came to be like, yo, like, give me back my car. Like, I gotta go somewhere. And the girl was like, oh, this isn't your car. And like, leaves again. Like, basically, like, once she finds out that's not actually his car, she's like, I'm out. And he's like, what? It's so funny. It's so funny.
That's fun. I didn't know you watched those. That's funny.
Like, I've seen a couple on like Facebook, but
that's funny.
I'm telling you, he popped up on YouTube.
Yeah, Nate's cool people,
It's
man.
so funny.
Oh, well, I don't know him like that, but he's got good videos.
Yeah.
He's been on YouTube for a long time. I've been watching him for years.
Like, old videos, like I said, just popping up randomly. Like, you know how like old ones like
Yeah.
just come up on your feed.
Definitely.
It might be those. I've never looked at like how long it's been out for.
I've been watching Nate since he was like with this girl like living in Houston. Her name was Ashley. And like they used to do pranks on each other all the time. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I used to watch his videos with her all the time. Back in, they were like I used to watch a lot of couple shit. Yeah, no, they're definitely not because he's had another girlfriend after that, and now he's married. But
T.
Yeah, well, not to her, to somebody else. But then there was a few couple of channels that actually broke up now that I used to watch back in the day. So that's funny. That's where I got the idea for the whole Alyssa and Julian channel in the first place.
From Nate?
No, well, yeah, from Nate and those people. Yeah, because like remember, I started off with our channel as like a prank channel. I started off as like a couple prank channel.
Yeah, go watch when I bust him and his pranks fail.
Yeah, but remember, I used to do a few pranks on you.
There was definitely one where like you had one and I was like, where's the camera? Like, where's the camera? There it is.
I forgot what it was.
No, you had the
I think I did a breakup prank. Yeah, I did the breakup prank on you.
I was so confused.
I tried it. It didn't work out.
And then you had the move-in prank, and that's when I was like, what? Like, I literally was like sitting there and I was like, yo, edit your video. Like, stop talking. And then I saw the camera was recording and I was like, dude, like, you're not slick, bro. Like, good try.
Man. Wait, we got to deliver what we promised, though. We're talking about pranks. We're supposed to be talking about good ideas for first dates.
Okay, so now that all of our stories are done, unless Julian has more.
I probably do, but I can't think of any right now.
Okay, anyways. So, I'm trying to think. So, where would you... So, okay, so you mentioned movies. Where else would you not take a girl on?
Bowling.
That's awkward. Okay, anywhere else?
Definitely not to like a club or party.
Oh, for a first date, yeah, nah.
Unless she's like a real like partier and you guys like are partiers, like maybe.
I mean, I guess it kind of just depends on the couple.
I don't think a club is a good first date.
I'm trying to think of where if you were like, yeah, first date, let's go here. I'd be like.
So here's the question I want you to ask before you decide on a date location. Can you spend time getting to know that girl throughout the entire date? And that's the question you want to ask. Because I could tell you right now, if I go to the movies with you, I'm not going to be able to talk to you. If I go bowling with you, I'm really not going to be able to talk to you. I had the luxury of already knowing her before we went bowling, so it was okay. I can't talk to you. I mean, like, yes, you might say, oh, well, if I pick her up, I have the car ride. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
She's going to be exhausted after the date. So, like, at that point, it's just time to go home. Like, it's not really
awkward after a movie date because, like, then you're like, wow, I just sat there for so long watching a movie. I feel like I could take a nap now. And now you're awkwardly getting up to leave. And you're like, yeah, how was it? And you have to be like, yeah, that's pretty good. No. Like, and then you're kind of talking about it. And even, especially if it's not a movie like you necessarily wanted to see, but the other person was interested in it. Yeah. It just becomes awkward for that one person that wasn't interested. And the other person's like gloating about it. And you're like, it really wasn't that good, but okay, I'll go along with it.
And that's the thing. So like you sit there for 2.5, 3 hours sometimes, depending on the movie. Cause if you went to see Avatar, Avatar, that movie's 3 hours long. So like you're sitting there all that time and you made zero progress in your relationship. And in building your relationship. And that's the hardest part about that, you know?
I feel like cool first dates. I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Mini golf.
Mini golf is so fun. Either that or like
laser
aquarium.
Tag.
I would go to the
aquarium, laser tag, the mall.
The mall?
Yes.
On a first date?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. I'm going to tell you why. Because where that girl goes, what stores that girl goes into, that shows you her interest. The things she talked about at the mall.
If you asked me on a first date to walk around the mall, I'd be like, that's a date.
Yeah, because
Okay,
then
that's our difference here.
you got the food court. You got the food court for stuff. The most malls have arcades. Because if I take you to our mall right now, there's an arcade we can go into.
See, it was different. Okay, so when Julian and I first started hanging out, we went to the mall a lot and walked around, ended up in like this little arcade, play some basketball, like all that. I don't know if I'd consider that a date.
No, it's not a date.
But we hung out a lot at the mall. Now there's a new arcade place in the mall. So if we went there, I feel like it'd be a different story, but it wasn't there when we first were hanging out.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, no matter what, I feel like I feel like we could go for a walk around the park and it'd be a date.
Oh, see, okay, so that's different.
The mall's the same thing.
No, it's not. I would not consider walking around the mall a date.
How?
I don't know. I guess we're different on that one because I would not consider that. Like, be like, oh yeah, where'd you go on your date? The mall.
If I had to go on a first date again tomorrow, do you know where I would go?
Where?
I would set up, depending on the girl. If it were you, I would probably take you to the park.
See, but I feel like the park is fun because you could walk around, especially if it's a nice day, you walk around like the little trails like parks have. But that's where also like you get to know them. You sit, you talk, you're having a conversation while walking.
Have a picnic.
Who knows how many miles?
Boom.
Yes.
Boom.
Dude,
have
yes.
Also, you could play sports if the park has like little things like basketball or stuff, because our park had basketball, so we'd always go play basketball.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, stop. Because I also like grew up like basically living at the park I used to live near. So that would be a no-brainer for me.
Me too. That's why I say like I wouldn't mind going to the park. I mean,
wouldn't mind it.
Other options, I'm trying to think. I think depending on the girl, but I think one of the
the dishwasher just stopped.
I think one of the best ones to go to is probably mini golf. I think mini golf is top tier.
I love mini golf.
Mini golf is top tier because you have the time to like make fun of each other, laugh. Another good one is a carnival. Don't sleep on carnivals.
I was just thinking like a carnival thing because I was just okay. So when you said mini golf, the first thing I thought of was when we went to Florida.
Yo, right?
And we played mini golf, but then I started thinking of like we went on this
the Ferris wheel.
Yeah, so that's what actually got me. Like I was just thinking that when you said a carnival, so like you literally read my mind. And I was just talking to Julian yesterday about how when they start coming around, I want to take JJ to like a carnival.
I'm trying to think what else.
Walk around, put him on a ride.
I think you should go to the city. Like if there's a city near you, I think you should go to the city near you and walk around the city. I think that's a good first date personally, because it depends. You could bar hop, you could shop, you could do
restaurants. Like cities are huge and have a lot going on. Like that's another thing. You could just walk around. Like tell me it's not a date to walk around Central Park. Like
so here's the thing.
I've never been to Central Park.
We're gonna go. Here's the thing. $70 is 2 round trip tickets to the city for us. I don't know what that's like in your area. If it's around there, that's a great first date. If it's more than that, I wouldn't do it as a first date because like, yeah, nah. Because then think about this, like if you're driving like 4 hours to get to a city, like with this girl for the first time, like it's awkward. I wouldn't do all that.
Ride at first.
Yeah, it's an awkward car ride for the beginning. But like if you're taking a train for like an hour, because that's about how much it is for us. You're taking the train for an hour, especially if they love cities. That's a dub.
Ooh, go to a baseball game. Go to like a sports game.
It depends, because if you're going to a professional sports game, that's still expensive for a first date.
But it's still fun. No, not really, because if you buy like nosebleed seats literally just to go, honestly, if you brought me on a date and was like, yeah, but we're sitting way up here, I'd be like, I'm there, so I don't even care.
Bro, look at that shot I got. We sat in the nosebleeds at MSG.
I could sit at nosebleeds and still be so excited to be there.
Bro, you seen that shot I got at RJ Barry hit that game winner? Mm-hmm. We were in the nosebleeds, but RJ Barry still pulled up. I got the shots.
Nosebleeds, but like it was pretty expensive.
No, so MSG is expensive.
But they were side like of a court, so perfect, you see it. If I sat like on the other side, I'd be like, yeah, that's probably
behind the basket would be good.
But like, I'm sorry. No, I tried to get it from the side so you could watch the whole game and watch them running up and down the court.
Yo, it's not like it, bro.
Seats, but they were pretty like.
Nah, well, yeah, they were. I shouldn't say nosebleeds because they were at the top, but like they were like at the top row, but like the bottom of the top row.
Right. So it was like decent seats, but like there's like one of those things where it's like, oh, you could be like closer, but those are.
Bro, I haven't complained a day about that trip at all because let me tell you, I got one of the best shots of RJ Barrett hitting the game winner ever, because it was also on our side of the court and he shot it where like I was facing him. So like it wasn't like I was looking at his back. Like I looked at his form and everything, his face as he was shooting it. Like I knew he was getting the ball and I knew he was shooting it and I knew it was going in. Like I'm telling y'all, that video is sick. But like, I don't know. That's more like a down the road date to me.
Oh yeah, I mean,
because
I'd be down for a first date, honestly, but I could see where you're coming from.
That's $100 per person at least. At the very least, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So like, I don't know, like for if you think about the stories I've told with all the people who ghosted me after the first date. If you told me I spent like $200 and got ghosted after that,
imagine our first date if I ghosted. We literally spent the night in the city, and remember if I not remember. Imagine if I came home and like, that was it. And we worked together at the time, so I just like see him walking around, and I'm like, awkward.
Imagine.
That would be funny.
That would not be
funny, but like talking about it now would be funny.
Anyway,
you just made it awkward.
I made it awkward. You're talking about ghosting me. Because you're sitting here talking about ghosting me, bro.
Okay, but like it's funny talking about it now that it like obviously didn't happen. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else? Do you have any other stories?
I'm gonna tell my son you're trying to ghost me.
What?
So I'm gonna go tell my son you're trying to ghost me.
I think he's actually napping now.
Okay, good point. Good point. What is your question of the week, boss?
So, question of the week kind of just ties into, it's another thing where it's like we told our stories, I want to know yours type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
So, the question of the week is, what's something that has happened to you during a first date or on a date in general?
And can I add something to it?
Yes.
Do you have any plans for Valentine's Day? And if you do, what are those?
Who's your Valentine?
Who's your Valentine? Look at the Valentine's
Let
Day
me know who
tea.
your Valentine is.
Who's your Valentine?
Me. No, I'm kidding. It's a split between you and Buddy. I can't like pick one. That's so hard. So I have to split it. I'm sorry. What?
No, it's okay. I'll take that. Huh?
Who's your Valentine?
My mom.
That's cute, Bob.
I'm just kidding. Yo, y'all remember those days?
I used to. For your mom, I'm kind of jealous, but it's fine.
I used to bring my mom flowers on Valentine's Day.
Aw,
I did.
That's
I always
so
used
cute.
to. Yeah, my grandmother too.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's how I grew up. I brought my mom flowers on Valentine's Day every year.
Go buy someone, even if it's just one flower.
I
get excited over like one flower.
I only stopped because she got married. So it's like, all right, he's going to get you flowers. Yeah, man. But before that, I used to bring her flowers every year.
Love that. Love to see it. Love to hear it.
Oh, yeah. All right, guys.
This was fun.
On that note, man, now that you've heard
clown Julian for all his
I know, right?
stories now, interrogate him on who these women are, but that's beside the point.
Who are these women?
Just kidding.
Who are these women? Honestly, she knows most of them, so that's where it's like,
that's why I'm just kidding. If I didn't know, I wouldn't be kidding, but I feel like I've heard these stories before, so no interrogating today.
I can't. Well, if y'all enjoyed this episode of the podcast and you want more awkward relationships / first dates / any date stories, let us know down below. You know, it's funny, actually, I don't think I have any awkward date stories because they never really got past the first date. That's crazy. All right, we're out of here. Keep grinding. Keep chasing your dreams. Remember, nothing worth having goes easy way out. Peace.